Swiggity swag, what's in the bag? Jay here, bringing you guys another top 5 video, and this week I am bringing you guys my top 5 ground type Pokemon, because 2 weeks ago I asked you guys to vote between rock and ground was the type that won. I also want to apologize for not uploading top 5 last week, but there was so much Oris hype going on, and all I wanted to do was play Oris, so I just want to go ahead and apologize for that. But if you guys are enjoying the top 5 series so far, and you happen to enjoy this episode as well, please don't forget to hit that like button, because it does show your support, and I do really truly appreciate your support. And also do not forget to vote for next week's top 5. We only have 2 more types left, and that is rock and normal type, so please go ahead and leave your votes down in the comment section below, along with your top 5 ground type Pokemon. And let's just go ahead and jump into this top 5 list. It has been a while. So coming in at number 5 on this top 5 list is Gastrodon, and Gastrodon is on this list because, I mean, let's put it this way. I like Gastrodon because it's bulky, it can take hits, it has a lot of HP, it gets access to things like Scald, Earth Power, it has Protect, so you can protect Toxic to toxic your opponent, and it also has access to recover, so if you need to recover your HP, you are able to do that. So on top of being able to take hits, it can also recover its HP, which is really nice. I honestly prefer the pink Gastrodon over the blue Gastrodon, or I guess what is it, East Sea versus the West Sea. I can't remember which one is East Sea and which one is West Sea, but I do prefer the pink Gastrodon over the blue Gastrodon, just because, I don't know, the design just fits the pink Gastrodon. Of course, what you're gonna see on the screen is the blue Gastrodon for the picture, but you see the pink Gastrodon sprite. I actually really truly like the pink Gastrodon sprite. I don't think I've seen Gastrodon much in the anime, so I can't really base my fondness, I guess, of Gastrodon based on the anime, just based on gameplay that I have seen and I have experienced personally. That's essentially why I like Gastrodon. It can just take hits, it can take hits, it can recover its HP. I mean, water ground type is actually a really good typing as well, because there are plenty of other Pokemon out there, Swampert, Wishcash, whatever, they get that same typing as well, and they are pretty damn good if I do say so myself. The only thing that sucks about them is that they can't really take a grass hit because they're quad weak to grass, but they are immune to electric and basically anything else that water or ground are weak to. Outside of grass, they're not weak to it, so I mean, they only have one weakness. I think that's actually pretty amazing if I do say so myself. Not only that, but Gastrodon also gets the ability Storm Drain, so you can't even hit this thing with a water type attack, or if you're in a free-for-all, you can't even go for a water type attack because the Gastrodon just automatically sucks it up, and it's just like, whoa, that's crazy. So it has nice bulk, it has a great ability, and I just think Gastrodon is really awesome. That is why Gastrodon is on this top 5 list. So coming in at number 4 on this top 5 list is Gligar, and yes, Gligar, not Gliscor, Gligar. And Gligar is on this list for multiple reasons. One reason being, back in Generation 5, I always used to use Gligar on a UU team, because UU was my favorite tier to play back in Generation 5, because UU was actually my worst tier. So I decided to play that tier a lot more, and eventually I grew to love that tier. I wouldn't say that I was good at it, but I loved the tier. And Gliscor was always OU because Gliscor had Poison Heal, and it was just bulky. It could take physical hits for days. So I had to step down and go with Gligar. And Eviolite Gligar swallows hits, okay? It swallows hits so well. It gets access to Roost, it has Earthquake, get Toxic, the ability you can have immunity on it, so then it can't be poisoned, which is like one of the worst things a wall could even get, besides burn, but or poison, well, toxic damage, might I say. Toxic is probably one of the worst things, because you can't stay in for too long or toxic damage will rack up. Well, not in the case of Gligar, because Gligar is immune to that with immunity, and a lot of people like to mistake Gligar for being a poison flying type or a poison ground type. No, it is in fact ground flying. Go check the Pokédex, go check Bulbapedia, Cerebi, whatever, and yeah, that'll all clear all that up. And yeah, also with the anime, Ash's Gligar was actually it was a really nice Pokemon for him to have, just because it had that really I wouldn't say dorky, but it had that quirky, I guess, personality where it will always stick out his tongue and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just really grew to like Ash's Gligar, and even when it evolved into Gliscor, it still kept his personality. So I really like that about Gligar, and that is why Gligar is on this top 5 list. So coming in at number 3 on this top 5 list is Mamoswine. And Mamoswine is on this list because, I mean, let's just be honest here. Mamoswine is, first of all, this thing is huge, okay? This thing is insanely huge. Second of all, Mamoswine can dish out a lot of damage. When I say a lot of damage, I mean a lot of damage. This thing, I mean, I wouldn't say this thing takes hits for days, but I will say this thing can dish out a hard-hitting hit. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, you don't want to take an Ice Shard from a Mamoswine. You don't want to take an Icicle Crash from a Mamoswine. You don't want to take an Earthquake from a Mamoswine. You don't want to take any kind of hit from a Mamoswine. Not only that, but then like the one thing that that would check, I guess that's the term, check or counter Mamoswine, Rotom Wash, run Freeze Dry. Boom. Rotom Wash is dealt with. Now, I wouldn't say Freeze Dry is like the ultimate way of dealing with Rotom Wash, but Freeze Dry is a really good move, I'm just saying. But Mamoswine is big. I love the Mamoswine design. I like that they gave some Pokemon in Generation 2 an extra evolution. Honestly, I like that it gave a lot of Pokemon an extra evolution in Generation 4, which is where my Mamoswine came from, and the next Pokemon that is up on this top 5 list. But I'm gonna go ahead and just talk about Mamoswine for a little bit more. But yeah, actually, that's honestly about it. I didn't really too much like Paloswine. I don't know, I guess just because Paloswine just looks like a giant, I don't know, fur ball, and you couldn't really see its eyes or anything like that. So when it finally got an evolution of Mamoswine where you can see its eyes and had like really gigantic tusks and stuff, I like that. And I like how Dawn had one in the anime, and she would use it for contests and stuff. And it was just like, I like how Dawn's Mamoswine didn't obey her at first, and then it finally grew around to love her. So yeah, that's why I like the Mamoswine. So coming in at number 2 on this top 5 list is Rhyperior, and Rhyperior is on this list because Rhyperior is a monster, okay? Just like Mamoswine, Rhyperior is a powerhouse, okay? This thing has really high physical defense, it has nice HP, really high physical attack, its special defense kind of blows, its speed kind of blows, and its special attack kind of blows, but we don't really care about those stats because at the same time, that can be to its advantage. First of all, it gets the ability Solid Rock, which means that super effective moves are reduced by, I think, 25%. So it can take, I mean, I wouldn't say it'll be able to take a water move or a grass move well at all because it's quite weak to those, but I can say that it would take them better than if it didn't have Solid Rock, which, I mean, I guess that's not really saying much because it's quite weak to it. But Rhyperior is pretty strong though. It hits pretty hard. It's slow enough to where you can run it in Trick Room. Not only that, but it also gets to move Rock Polish. So if you actually want, you're actually worried about your speed, you can actually just Rock Polish your Rhyperior up. Like bring it in on a Pokemon that it can completely body, or a Pokemon that can't do anything to it. Let them switch out, go for the Rock Polish, and just wreck house on their team, just punch holes in their team, because that is what Rhyperior do. It gets Earthquake, it gets Stone Edge, it gets Rock Wrecker if you actually want to be daring and run that 2-turn move. I think it's a 2-turn move, or not 2-turn move, but you have to recharge. I think you have to use Rock Wrecker. I'm not necessarily sure, I don't run that. But you can run Trick Room because it's dirt slow. You can run, or you run it on a Trick Room team. You can just do a lot of things with Rhyperior, and I just think Rhyperior is kind of underestimated, and I love its design as well. So that's why Rhyperior is on the top 5 list. And coming in at number 1 on this top 5 list is Excadrill. Excadrill. Let's just talk about Excadrill for a moment, you guys. Let's just take time out of our day to talk about Excadrill. This thing in Generation 5 was an absolute monster, okay? All of its abilities are good, okay? This thing might not be the fastest Pokemon around, but I can say that one of its abilities, Sand Rush, definitely makes up for it, okay? This is why like sand and stuff were just so OP, because of Excadrill. And then when Excadrill got banned to Ubers, I mean, Excadrill still did work. I mean, let's just be honest here. It gets Swords Dance, it has the ability Sand Rush, Sand Force, even Mold Breaker. Okay, you can run this thing as a rapid spinner. You can run this thing as an all-out physical attacker. This thing punches holes in teams, okay? Like back when Driano did ROM hacks for like Blaze Black and Volt White. Clay would run a sand team and have a sand rushing Excadrill on there. That Excadrill was a huge threat. If you did not have weather to counteract his weather, or if you didn't have a Pokemon fully prepared for the Excadrill, that Excadrill punched holes in your team. Okay, this Excadrill was just such a monster. I mean, he gets access to Swords Dance, guys. It has a really nice high physical attack stat. It gets access to Swords Dance. It has Sand Rush. It gets Earthquake. What an Iron Head. Whatever other steel move he gets. It gets Rock Slide. It just gets so many different moves that just covers all of his weaknesses, whatever. And it's just really nice. And I just really like Excadrill for that. And that is going to be it for this top 5 list, you guys. So if you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to hit that like button, because it does help support the channel. Series video makes me very happy, guy. And do not forget to vote for next week's top 5. Like I said before, these are the last 2 types that we have to go. It is between rock and normal. And I will see you guys for next week's top 5. Peace.